let's get right into it. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys what I got for my 8th grade, or my 9th grader, next year I'll be in 9th grade, and my 3rd and 6th graders. All right, I'm just grabbing the packing slip out of here. Okay. So we have the brand new G Earth and Space Science Instructor's Guide and the Level C Instructor's Guide. So hopefully this comes with the student pages as well. I'm pretty sure it does. And the Level G was part of the very exciting brand new level that they unveiled. So I'm going to start with C, just because I already opened that. This is for ages 7 through 9. So my student will be 8 and then 9. I can't remember which grade level this aligns with in terms of the ABC, but one thing I want to recommend if you're using Bookshark Science is to look at the samples in depth, because in my experience, they tend to be very rigorous and intensive. So I wouldn't take the grade level at face value necessarily. And when you order an entire year of Bookshark stuff, you get this giant binder to put all this stuff in if you do all the subjects. But we're just looking at, we're going to look at the first 3 weeks, which is what's included in the sample. So if you're brand new to Bookshark, it is a fully planned, in my opinion, secular, but technically considered faith neutral curriculum. They are the sister company of Sunlight, which is a Christian curriculum company. And they offer fully planned lessons in every subject. And this is the science layout. So they plan it for 4 days, but you can do it over 5 days. That's usually what I do. And in this column, you have the books or other materials that you need, and then you have by day what you're going to be doing. It also lets you know what supplies you'll be needing. This was a question I got about the discover and do experiments, like is everything included or not? And then you have a shopping list here. So this is like your big picture. And if you use this curriculum independently, this is what you would have your student looking at, not at this level, but I mean in general. This is what they would be looking at to see, okay, so I need to read this book, these pages, and answer these questions. So this is the overview part. Then you have the instructor's guide. And again, this is all available on their website as a sample, so I won't get into that. These are the answers to the student activity pages. And then this is the student activity page. So I actually downloaded this and I already did it with my students. And that was how I decided to stick with this one, because I wanted to see if my 8-year-old was able to do this. And it is what I would call her ZPD, zone of proximal development. That means she's able to do it with help. And so that means it's like a little bit of a stretch. Definitely, I don't think this could be done completely independently with her, but I like the content that it's covering, and I think it will be good, and we may just spread it out more. So these questions are all answered in the Magic Schoolhouse book. And then let's look back at the instructor's guide for a second. For the second book, towards the end of the week, you've got an experiment on day 4. So actually these are all from the Magic Schoolhouse book. Then you have Find Out Earth. This is, I think, a DK encyclopedia. So you're reading 2 pages and answering the questions. And as you can see, the format of this is you do 3 days in a book work, and then you're doing an experiment on day 4. So these, I love this. I have the prior version of this level, and this particular worksheet is just so, I just really like the way that it's laid out and how beautiful it looks for layers of the atmosphere. But I remember doing this with my teenagers when they were younger. So that's exciting. And as you can see, these are full color, beautiful worksheets. And then last week we have is week 3. And again, we're in Find Out Earth. And then we have optional do together activity, and then an experiment. And so you can see this is all like earth science stuff. And that is the end of the first 3 weeks of that. So let's go ahead and take a look in the Earths and Space Science. Like I said, this is one of the 3 brand new middle school levels. They just released this on April 1st. So I'm so excited to get my hands on it. I own all of the levels of the prior Bookshark science. So for example, in 5th grade, that used to be human anatomy, and then it switched to this I forget what it's called, but where it's more than one different topic thing. So I am so excited to see going back to one topic, which is what they did. This is earth science, then there is like life science, life science, and then physical science. And someone said that they really wanted to do the level H prior one, which is like technology and things. So if you want to do a prior level, they just released this, you should contact them and ask them, because I'm willing to bet they have stuff already printed out sitting in their warehouse that they would be happy to send to you if you want to buy it. So, okay, so we've got Eyewitness Universe. And if you're familiar with my Instagram, or maybe even this channel, my 5th grader who's going into 6th grade is who this is for. He is currently obsessed with astronomy. So that was my thought process in getting this, as well as I wanted to just cover general earth science, because we haven't been doing that. We've been doing biology, mammals, life cycles, plants, botany, stuff like that. So like more in the general category of life science. So that is why we've got these 2 earth science situations going on. Then you have Explanatorium of the Earth, and these are both like DK type books. I don't know if they technically are DK or not, but anyway, then you've got the experiments book. So this for both levels is a separate thing. It says like, what is it called? Bookshark Experiments Guide. I did not purchase that. I just wanted to get the curriculum because I have other experiment stuff left over from past years. But you will want to note that that's a separate guide you'll need to purchase if you want to do the experiments, as well as the kit. And it tells you what they are providing in their kit and what you need to, there's a paper packet that has like the worksheets for the experiment, and then here's what you need to provide. So just going back to what I was saying before. And then here are all of the teaching notes, and this is available on their website. So I'm just going to quickly go through that. And Bookshark is one of my favorite science curriculums because aside from using interesting and engaging and colorful materials, books for the actual reading and questions, I find that they really go in depth. So it's very solid in terms of building that foundational knowledge over years and years with your children, so that when you are getting to higher levels of science, or if you want to do like, let's say the Iowa or CAT testing where you're assessing what your students' knowledge base is in science, I feel like it's just so robust and good and planned out for you. And if you go through it over the years, your students will really have a strong science basis. So, and I did do all of the lower levels of Bookshark with my older kids, and my oldest now wants to go to medical school. So if you want to talk about, what works over the last 12 years that we've been homeschooling, I really give a lot of credit to Bookshark Science. So this type of work also, if you're in a large family and you are wanting your students to do independent work, I highly recommend this. How much they'll be able to do depends on the student, depends on what their stamina, their intellectual or academic stamina is. But you can definitely break it up more. You don't have to follow their pacing. You can pace it out slower or you can pace it out faster. Last year, my son had a fun time trying to do as much science as he could possibly do, like when we were in the car or like on a day we didn't have plans. So I will say that just looking at this, I can see that this is a lot, and he's not going to be probably completing this in a week. It's probably going to be like a 2-week spread out thing. We are going to be starting this immediately in 5th grade because he's really excited about it. If you saw my reel on Instagram about this level, like that was genuine. That was not made up. We were actually dancing like that because we were that excited. So he wants to immediately start doing this. So I will just follow his pace and not worry about getting everything done. So in here, you're doing 2 different books per day, and you've got 6 questions. So then there's an optional do together. Let's go ahead and look at that. So talking about the season, what Earth's position is in space, and then internet research on tidal bulges. So that is that. And then you can see, like, here's the experiment. So if you don't have this book, you're not going to be able to do the experiment. Just a pro tip there. And then this is the week 2. Here you've got the answers. And then this is still week 1, sorry. Now we're moving on to week 2. And he's already done some of this, so we may end up skipping over it. Like, is the sun a star? Like, he already knows that. Oh, just kidding. So that was the answer to week 2 before this. All right, and then we are on week 3. And again, now we're only doing this book, Eyewitness Universe. And I do have these books, but I haven't opened them up yet, so that will have to be a separate thing, because I order books one at a time. I don't order the whole level of Bookshark because I don't have the budget for that right now. Yeah, so that is the first. Oh, and then here's the activity sheet. And so you can see this is very similar to level C. So if you are trying to have your students learning together, you can definitely do that. I would get the younger level of your youngest that you're using, and then just get extra activity sheets, which you can purchase directly from Bookshark as well. And I was about to do that until I found out about this new level coming out, because my son really wants to go deep into this stuff. So that is that. That is the first 3 weeks of the level G science. Very exciting. And one other cute thing, not cute, but cool. Well, I think it's cute. About Bookshark is at the very end of your instructor's guide, you have a certificate of completion. And so you can give this to your student, like, good job, you did this entire level. I think it's really cool. I did it with my kids when they were younger. My 3 teenagers did history and science together from Bookshark. So we have a lot of time and experience in that, in this program. And that's why I'm also really excited when they release new things, because it's like, I don't like doing the same thing twice, because I go so in depth. So it's really exciting for me personally to see new levels of science or whatever coming out. Okay, so I got the Level I, American Historical Literature and Language Arts. So I already have the history part of this. It's American history. It is what we are going to be doing for 9th grade history, American history. And I wanted to use the language arts because the way that Bookshark works is it's like history and English and language arts are like integrated. So you're reading books from the same time period, and there's separate history readers and English readers. So the way that it works once you get to level I is you have a separate student guide and a parent guide. The parent guide is going to have teaching tips and answers. The student guide is written directly to the student. So this is what you hand to the student. We do it in binders. And you say, okay, so you follow the pacing and you do the work, and then you can either sit down with your student and be teaching to them, or you can review things with them, or you can review their work. And that's kind of how this works. So we'll go through both of these the first 3 weeks to show you. And I have both of those for history as well, but I've had those for a couple of years. So I'm not going to be, I didn't order it right now. And I've had a student go through it. So this is all, here is an overview of this. Oh, I didn't know the Call of the Wild's in here. I just bought that yesterday. Out of the Dust, he's already read. I am interested to see if they have any warnings about To Kill a Mockingbird or Tom Sawyer in here. So here you've got the literature selections. So you've got literature, poetry, then you have like the overview theme. Wordly wise, I did not purchase yet. I may or may not, because we have some other things that we like to use, but I really wanted to get this for the language arts pages and the questions for the students. So let's just look through this. And here you've got some festivals included in that book, poetry, creative expression, note to parents, and this is all the first week. So you can see how this is a very robust level. And then there's the little grading rubric here for the worksheet, which we'll look at in a minute. Then we have week 2. We're still in Children of the Longhouse, so they're reading 2 chapters a day. So this is I don't know how long these chapters are, but the pacing may or may not work for you. You may want to do it slower or more quickly. My teenage girls who went through Bookshark read everything much more quickly, which allows you to get through more material in a shorter time. Okay, and then here's week 3, and you can see we're on a different book. So you spend 2 weeks on that prior book, then we're into this new one, and you're reading about 30 pages a day. Then there's an overview. So this would be really good to read as a parent, the overview of the books, so that you can get some information about what is being discussed, setting, characters, point of view. This is excellent. This is exactly what I'm looking for in a curriculum. I don't have time to pre-read all the books my kids read. And even if you look at stuff like Common Sense Media, it honestly is not really that reliable because everybody has different standards for things, or it may just be like they're only talking about one thing but there's something completely different in here, or I want to know what specifically is problematic with something. I'm not saying this is problematic, but I'm just saying like I want to know specifics. So okay, so there's that, and you've got all sorts of stuff going on. Timed essay practice, here's the tips, and that is the end of week 3. Now we will go to the student guide. Okay, oops. All right, so let's just go to week 1. So here is your vocabulary, then here's the map work, and you can see here are the discussion questions with none of the answers. So this is something they can either do orally to you or they can do in their notebook. Then you've got literary analysis overview. And so this actually doesn't have a worksheet in this one. It's going to be all notebook work. Let's see if there's one in here. Okay, there's not. So I guess we're not doing worksheets at this level. It's all just they're telling you what to write. There's a map in here. And here is the rubric. All right, so that is the overview of the student guide, the parent guide, as well as the 2 science levels that we will be using for next year. And thank you guys for watching our Bookshark Picks video.